Welcome back to part 10 of the Quilled Luna Moth tutorial with Quantum Artistic. Where we ended a little bit ago, we had just completed the majority of the pieces on the bottom right hand wing. And we're going, whoops, I've already started. We're going to go ahead and start working on the left hand wing this time. So just let's go ahead and bring out the reference so we can get a sense of how we're going to accomplish this. And first things first, we notice we have a big double loop that comes off the armpit and goes up into this side. Then we have some marquee shapes that kind of fill this little triangular area here around the eye. And then we have some scroll work that pops off here, some loops, scroll work and loops. The idea really is to create it differently from this side. So what I think I'm going to do is I like those 3 marquee shaped loops, and I want to build a couple more of them up into this corner here. So I think we're going to start off with marquee shaped loops. These ones were built with a green regular paper crimped inside of a regular cardstock outer edge. All right, so let's go ahead and here's some crimped green paper that I had from another section we did earlier. If you don't have some left over, just go ahead and make some. It's the regular weight mint colored paper and the cardstock white. That's what we're going to use for those components. These are all kind of tucked in and kind of like a grouping of these. So I'm going to make, I'm going to make 2 of them. And I'm going to measure these out by just going like this and saying, oh, look, that looks about the length that I would like to see that right there. I'm just going to kind of grab my paper here and I'm going to cut it. To make this first loop, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just soften this cardstock so it's a little bit less likely to bend at funny angles. I am going to glue the end together so that I can work with the other end by pinching it. I'm just going to tap the end there and glue. That's how I do that. Just going to pop it down here, hold it for a few seconds while it dries. And the first part of the shape is just the regular teardrop. So this is how it's going to start. There's actually a couple ways to accomplish the shape. I'm just going to do this, and maybe the next one I'll do it a different way. I'm not sure. I do try to give a variety of ways for people to do things, but sometimes I just revert to specific ways because that's what I'm just used to doing. And of course, this is not really drying very well. So we're just going to hold it here for like a 10 count. That's better. Okay. So to make the marquee shape, all I'm going to do is just grab this and just pinch the other end. So it's shaped now like an almond or like an eye. That's all I'm doing to do that shape. I want to fill this with, actually, you know what? This is not cardstock. That was cardstock. I want regular weight. I need to make a regular weight strip. Hold on 2 seconds. I'm using I want to use regular weight because it's thinner and I have a smaller space to put stuff in, so I don't want it to get overcrowded. So I have my marquee or my eye shape, and then I'm just going to kind of gauge how big I need this one, and I'm going to fold it in 2, and I'm just going to cut it. As you notice, I do most of my measuring with my thumbnail. And most of my measuring is kind of like guesstimates. It's the best guess I have for that moment. And there we go. That's all the shape really is. It's pretty simple. It doesn't need to be perfect. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tuck it. I'm not sure if I really like that. I don't know. I might leave it here. Let's make a couple of these and see how they fit together, and then we'll kind of space them the way we need them. The alternative way to create this would be to stack it to begin with, would be to take the interior portion, glue it to the outer ring or the wrap, and, you know, kind of determine, okay, I want it to be a little bit smaller this time, so we're gonna, you know, cut it here like that. Then, of course, you would go in and glue it. Gonna hold the ends together to let them bond together. On unrelated news, I ordered in a frame, a different type of shadow box frame, a giant 16 by 20 for my beta, and I ordered a beautiful tangerine colored mat to kind of be a go-between color between the golden yellow and the red. And when it comes in, I can't wait to photograph it inside the frame. I have a lady who's interested in buying it. Hopefully that works out too. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just pinch this side and then kind of pop it back out, and here we have the eye shape that we were looking at. Now I'm making two of these, and the reason being is because I wanted to kind of have like a little grouping. I thought about doing a grouping right here. And we're probably going to need one more. So let's do the really easy technique that we did a few seconds ago. Well, what we could do is we could make a little itty bitty one to put up in the corner there. Let's do that instead. We may actually just do a complete dry fit of this until I figure out exactly where I want components. So I'm just going to glue that to that, and this one's going to have to be very, very, very small because that green strip was wicked tiny. So I'm just going to cut this off right here, and we are going to glue this down. Hold it for a few seconds while that tacks up. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and pinch this other side and then pop it back open. Perfect. So now I've got this cute little trio right here. And I'm not entirely certain if that's exactly where I want to keep it, but we're going to start out there because this is how I do my design process, and you might as well just tag along with that sort of thing during this journey. What I think I want to do is I might put a wrapped loop up in here to kind of cover up that space. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the white crimp around the outer edge. Let me go ahead and get a piece of cardstock here. Well, we don't really even need cardstock. I'm just going to keep using scraps. This is actually a regular white. I'm just going to crimp it up really quick while I whack the camera. And we are going to do a piece of green, and we're going to have it come up in here and then loop around like that. So let's go ahead and soften this a little bit so that it doesn't act like a butthole when we try to curl it. I've got little pieces of parts all through here now. Alrighty. Let's grab this like that and see if it's the right length. I'm just going to slide these slightly off so I can kind of just use this as a slot. All right, so if we were to put that up in there like that, and we were to take these and kind of tuck them in like this, let's see how this works. That actually looks really good like that. So we're going to go ahead and go with that. The only thing is that We'll put the white on the inside. So that's what we'll do. So we know how long this has to be. And to make things easier, we'll just take a piece of the white crimp, which is the regular weight paper, or whatever size, whatever weight paper you want. I know I've made this confusing and I apologize, but I like to get all fancy schmancy with my stuff, having different weights and different textures and different heights. It's just hard to keep track of it all sometimes. All right, so I want all these to be kind of the same length here. Oops, I just snagged that. And we're going to go ahead and glue this off. So I'm just tapping that in my glue over here. Bring it back over here and we'll hold this for a few seconds to let it tack up. Turned into kind of a nice day. The sun is out. Well, the sun is setting, but the sun is out. We had weird weather. It was sleeting, it was raining, it was drizzling, it was windy. There, it looks pretty good. And we're just going to kind of pre-bend it a little bit because it is going to go up into that armpit area at a little tiny bit of a curve. So go ahead in here and tap it in glue. And again, I'm just going to go bring it up this way. Just there we go. Perfect. Press it down, and that works exactly as I had hoped it would. These will fit perfectly right here now, and they'll actually give us a little space to put some of the pink triangles, oh I'm sorry, teardrops. So I'm just dipping these in glue, and we're going to go ahead and just fit them in because they do seem to be quite perfect for this spot. Go ahead and put that one there. It's okay if it overlaps the edge of the background cutout. That is totally fine. And we're going to put that one there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give them a squeeze in the center, and I'm going to hold them down as they glue there so that they stay nice and tight together in a little grouping. I'm also going to go here and clean up some excess glue that I've incorporated onto the background. And that looks perfect. And see how it's filled? The area is filled. I could probably put like a little tight coil in there. I could put the little tiny pink teardrops here. So I've got a lot of variation. And it is completely unlike the other side, which is what we were going for. All right. So let's see here. On the original, we had some scroll work. So let's go ahead and get some scroll work. We do have that scroll there. We don't want to match that. What we could do is maybe run a piece of scroll work that connects over to here and then out to like that. Let's see how that looks. For that, we're probably going to want like a 6 strand. So I'm going to take 3 strands of the regular weight mint paper and cut them in half. And I'm going to go ahead and flip that like that. And again, we are going to fast forward through the stacking and staggering process. I don't want a really huge head in here, so I'm just going to roll it up to about maybe like 1.25 centimeters. Because this section here that we're filling isn't really a large section. And I don't want too much going on there. I'm just kind of opening this up a little bit, and I'm just gauging. It looks like we could just kind of go ahead and do something like that. Yeah. Or it actually might be better to do something like that. Yeah, let's do that instead. We're going to put this over here. I'm going to put it, that's about the length that we need it right there. I'm going to go ahead and re-dry fit it. That actually works pretty good. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm not going to bother to open the scroll up. I just want, a little bit of variation there. I'm just going to snip these. I'm just putting the head of that particular scroll in glue, and then we're just going to slide this up into that channel, and we're going to press this around until it kind of ends up in the right area. There we go. Okay. And that's going to keep this flowing this way, which is good. I think I'm going to build one more of these little marquees to come off this way. And let's see, what do we got here for crimpy stuff? That was regular crimped paper. So I'm just going to go ahead and make up another piece of this thin or regular weight mint so we can crimp it. And the interior of that was cardstock. So I'm going to snap off a new piece of cardstock because I've managed to use all the cardstock. All right, so I don't need a huge piece here. It's going to be a smaller one. It's not going to be as small as this one, but it's probably going to be about the size of the other one. So I like to kind of measure and say, okay, well, that's about half. That's about half the distance I want. So here's another technique. You can actually just go ahead and fold it in two like that once you've determined what the half mark is, because that will create each half. So there's that. And then what you can do is see how it's straight. You actually can go in with your tool and you can curl each side starting at that central thing, and then you end up with that marquee shape. That's another way to do it. It doesn't work quite as well with the you add the center in afterwards, but we'll go ahead and pinch that. So I'm adding the center in. I'm going to let it bond for a second. And what I want to do is I want to create that bend. So I'm going to find the elbow right here, and I'm just going to bend it. There we go. And I need to go ahead and cut this. I always cut it slightly inside. So see, there's a little lip between the green and the white. That allows me to glue it and not get the glue or not have it fight me. Go ahead and close this off. So that's a second way to make a marquee, or an eye shape. Not eye as in like the letter, but eye as in like the body part. And there's that. Let's see how it fits. If you need this to be a little bit more pointy, you can always kind of pinch it again and then just kind of push it back. Yeah, I like that. I like that too. I wonder if we could you know what we'll do? I'm gonna just make this really interesting, and I'm gonna put this one here like that. And let's make another really tiny one. So where's the crimp? So here's the crimped paper. Here's my cardstock. I want to make one about that long right there. So I'm going to bend it at that point. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And I'm going to just bend this one first, just to, it's actually not even. I gotta even this up. Let's go ahead and put this green crimp on it. Like that. Pinch it off. While that's setting, we'll go ahead and cut this side. And we'll do this right here. We'll bend and pinch that to make it, to get it the way we want it there. And another thing you can do, because this time we're layered, so we really can't do what we did before with the quilling tool, because it will strip the crimp out of the crimped paper. So what we can do instead to get that curl is just put it over a dowel. Like that. And then we've got our eye shape again. So there's some alternate techniques. There's like a million ways to do everything, and sometimes certain things work, and then sometimes you forget to do something, and then it works to do it a different way because you've gone one step too far or something like that. All right, let's check this out here. Yep, I like that a lot. See how it kind of cascades around? Here we go. And we can put a tight coil in right here, flanked by a couple of fuchsia colored teardrops. We could even put something really small in here. We'll figure that out. We may, let's go ahead and do that right now. So same deal, but this one's going to be wicked tiny. So this is literally going to be about that long. I can't talk. I told you before that COVID has really shacked my brain power. I struggle to find words now. I don't know, exactly what the concept is, but apparently I'm not the only one experiencing that. I'm going to the doctor again on Wednesday to see what magical things she can do to make me feel better. All right, snip that off. Now we've got them the same length, and we're going to go back into that bend, and we're going to fold it so they're both straight on the ends. And we're going to go ahead and glue, let's see, let's get a dowel. This dowel is going to have to be a little bit smaller because this is a smaller object. Here we go. Perfect. And let's go ahead and glue it. I'm getting hoarse again. Alrighty, look at that, it's perfect. I say that a lot. I've noticed that I try to edit out all the time. It's like, oh, it's perfect. Oh, it's perfect. Look at that. Gorgeous. I'm going to slide that right up in there. And now we've got the perfect spaces for the fuchsia teardrops. This space is filled beautifully. We can put tight coils all through here, and it's just going to be gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, so I think what I want to do is I want to make a rainbow loop because I only have 2 rainbow loops, and I would like to put a 3rd one here, but this one's going to be a nice big one. And we're gonna wrap it. We did not wrap that one. I don't know why we didn't. Probably because I forgot to. But so let's go ahead and do 4 full strands cut in 2, which will make this an 8 strip rainbow loop. Okay, and I'm going to fast forward through the stacking and staggering process. Okay, all done. Remember, we like to pre-shape our paper so that the loops stay nice and curled as opposed to getting kind of bends in them. And we're going to measure here how long this needs to be. So we're going to stick this in this area. And we're going to say that looks like about how long we want our rainbow loop. So we're going to, it's going to be about that long right there. We're going to just hold that like that. And we're going to start to pull down the loops. Okay, so the loops have been, and you notice I have like a little bend here, but we're just going to ignore that because there's really very little that I could do. I can show you how to fix that by making it a pointed loop. If we try, we might do that. We might make this into a point. Who knows? So the deal is that you have to hold the bottom part, and now I'm going to go ahead and stagger this. Okay, it's all been staggered, and you notice that I have a little bit of a glue gunk right there because I was touching it with kind of gluey fingers. I'm just going to go ahead and paint that off because it just looked so gross. There we go, all better. Now I'd say we can make this into a pointed rainbow loop too, and we can just do it by just pressing it out like that, and then you can, you know, move it around, make it into like a wing shape or whatever. So let's go ahead and pop this baby. Oh, we're gonna wrap this. I forgot we're gonna wrap it. We're gonna wrap it. I have some white standard. This is not cardstock weight. It's just regular weight. I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap that baby up just to keep that white theme coming through. And let's see if we are going to have to place this. What is going to give us the most beautiful effect? It's kind of pretty if we do that, if we just tuck it up in and we do that. I think we should do that. It fans it out a little bit. Let's go ahead and put glue all along the bottom. Slide it up in there, and we're going to go ahead and push out like that and hold, and then we're going to tuck that bottom one in like that while it catches, and that way it should maintain at least most of that shape. There's a little glue bubble down here at the base. I'm just going to pop that and make it less noticeable. And there, it's held its shape. What we could do is we can add some scroll work that comes down like that now to fill that other area in. So what we'll do is we'll do a what do we got here? We'll do a 2-strand with a piece of white around the edge. So we'll add some white down in there. So it's really going to be a 3-strand scroll. I just cut a big line in 2. It's going to be 3-strand with white on the outside edge. And for this, I'm not going to bother to stagger it. I'm just going to pull the 2 green ones down to leave a white lip so that I can use my sewing tool, which is missing. There it is, which is missing. No more. Go ahead and curl this, and we just want a very, very small head. That's about 1/2 centimeter. We don't want it to open up too much because we want it to fit in here. It's a little bit too big, so we're just gonna adjust it until we can get that head down in there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it off at right there. That's how long it needs to be. I'm going to go ahead and dry fit this again just to be absolutely certain that I don't need to make any alterations to it. Perfect. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to press it up against that wall to keep a gap there. I'm just going to dip this whole thing in glue, the whole bottom from bottom to top. Clean a little bit off the head there. I don't want that showing too much. And I'm going to kind of work the head down in first. And then I'm going to pull the tail. And I'm going to push it up against that wing-shaped object that or the rainbow loop that we just made. And that leaves a little bit of a gap right there, and that adds a little bit of dimension and movement to the wing, to that bottom wing. So we've gone ahead and we have managed to get a lot done today. I think that if I keep getting these videos edited out and we keep working tonight, we should be able to just do finishing touches tomorrow. So for now, the right wing is done. The left wing is done, except for embellishments, mind you. And we just have this little bit here left. So I think I can get all this done in one sitting, including the spirals. So that'll be number 11, and then number 12 will be the finishing touches, which will be all of the little tight coils, C-coils, etc. And then we'll put the antenna on. All right, perfect. Well, I will see you back here in about an hour.